Alright, so time for the Sparkle guide. Thank God there's another character that doesn't have a Yu-Gi-Oh card description. Oh, this is great. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Alright, so welcome to a guide where the character's kit doesn't take 10 fucking paragraphs. I could probably go onto this menu, right? They've been getting pretty good at explaining what the hell the character does, right? Okay, so here's the Sparkle menu, yeah? When Sparkle's in battle, the team's skill point limit is increased. She recovers a large amount of skill point for ally. This could be a lie sometimes. And then increase ally critical damage and damage dealt. Yeah, that's good, right? And then you go on to the first combat and you hit this, right? Right, okay, here you go. Here's her kit TLDR. Her basic attack deals quantum damage to one enemy. Her skill gives an ally crit damage and advance them forward. Her ultimate recovers skill point and increase her talent by 150% basically, right? And her talent is whenever an ally uses skill point, they get a damage buff. It's a small damage buff and her ultimate increase that damage buff, yeah? It's a very simple kit. I think there's not gonna be too much explanation, maybe a little bit, right? Sparkle skill, yeah? This one. Increase the crit damage of an ally by 21 to 24% of her crit damage plus 45% at talent level 10, I think, right? The buff lasts for one turn and at the same time you advance the ally forward by 50%, right? This is kind of like a mix of Bronya ult and Bronya E, right? Obviously, for Bronya, she gives you a full turn push and a cleanse, and her ult gives you the crit damage conversion thing, right? And Sparkle E only push you by half, not a full turn push, and it gives you the crit damage, right? If I'm wrong, XDD, but like, I think Bronya's the only one that can full reset your turn order. If you get hit by like a slow or like a action delay, I think Bronya can fix it, but not Sparkle, because Bronya reset your action value to 0, so you get the turn immediately, whereas Sparkle is only an advance forward, so she doesn't fully combat action delay and speed down. But I think aside from that, I think, yeah, it's a good skill, yeah? So one of the biggest question that I think a lot of people are wondering is how much crit damage you build on Sparkle, right? At talent level 8 to talent level 10, you don't need to build more than maybe like 160, 170 crit damage. And the reason being is the difference between like 160 and 200 crit damage on Sparkle is you're giving your team like 9 to 10% more crit damage. You're going from like 83% crit damage buff to like 94 crit damage buff, 95 damage buff or something, right? The difference isn't that high if you stack crit damage, right? The big amplifier would be to get her Lightcone, but we'll talk about her Lightcone later, yeah? So if you're building Sparkle, about 160 crit damage is more than enough unless you want to really push out every point possible. To me, I'm like getting 40 more crit damage on Sparkle just to give the team 10 more crit damage is kind of meaningless. If I want easy more crit damage, I can probably just run like this one, right? It's basically free because she already gets like 10% effect resistance as well, right? So yeah, for skill, it's quite simple. You use your skill, the ally gets the crit damage for one turn. If you get this trace, then it lasts for 1.5 turns. I think this trace is really fun to explain. I'll explain it next, right? The crit damage boost provided by her skill will extend until the start of the target's next turn. So what this means is it affects follow-up attack if you want like a quick explanation, yeah? So Bronya buff lasts for one turn, right? So she can't buff character like, for example, General, right? Jingyuan, because Lightning Lord acts outside of the turn. What Sparkle does is basically the buff lasts essentially 1.5 turn, and it will benefit characters that has a summon pet or follow-up attack like Lightning Lord or Topaz stuff, right? That's what this trace basically means, yeah? And I think it's pretty good, yeah? Next is her talent and ult. Her talent and ult is pretty fucking easy to explain. Her talent, as I said earlier, it increased the maximum amount of skill point of your team by 2, so instead of 5, it's 7. Whenever an ally consumes one skill point, they get a damage buff that lasts for 2 turns and they can stack 3 times. I think this goes up to 6% or something. 6% times 3 is like 18%. And your ult recovers 4 skill point and increase the effect by a good chunk more. It goes up to 10%, right? So it's like 1.5 times. It basically increases your talent effectiveness by like 150%, yeah? So instead of like 6%, it's gonna be like 10% at talent level 10, yeah? 16% damage up times times 3 if you have full stack. This is not too hard to understand, right? You press your ult and then your talent gets stronger. Every time your ally spends skill point, they get more damage, right? Your ult lasts for 2 turns, so it amplifies the effect of your passive by 2 turns. Let's talk about how this fucking node works. She has a built-in meshing cogs, and I think my chat is fucking tired of me talking about meshing cogs, yeah? Essentially, what this talent does is her basic attack generates the same energy as her skill, because now they both generate 30. So if you have energy rope is all you need, yeah? Her ult costs 110 energy, and energy rope gives you legit all the energy you need for 3-turn ult. You don't need energy set, just the rope is enough, yeah? You can auto attack 3 times, you can skill 3 times, you'll get your fucking ult. Funny talent, right? And funny ult cost as well. It's kind of weird though, because like a lot of Harmony character, if I recall, has really high ult cost, and then there's Sparkle with like 110. I think all Harmony character has pretty fucking high ult cost. Yeah, like everyone is 130. 120 and stuff, and then Sparkle is like 110, right? I guess there's this, right? Increase attack of all ally by 15%. When there's 1, 2, or 3 quantum character on the team, the attack buff goes up by 5, 15, 30. It's just more attack, yeah? That's her kit. Seems fine. Alright, so I got E1 on Sparkle because she's a support, so I grab E1, right? Ideally E2, but it's fine, right? Your ult now lasts 3 turns instead of 2 turns, and all allies have 40% more attack. This is basically permanent, unless you're playing something like Blade, I guess, or Jinglu. So you don't get the attack buff, yeah? Yeah, that seems fine. I think the OP thing is E2. E2 allows your talent to grant defense ignore, and because you have 3 stack, you have 24% defense ignore. Yeah, E2 is fucking broken. Pull E2? I'm not pulling E2! I don't fucking need E2! It's strong enough! Your ult recovers 1 more skill point, yeah? Or E6 is, well, E6, right? E6 gives you more crit damage conversion and makes your ult can spread your E, right? I don't really think you should go for Eidolons for Sparkle. E1 is okay, but realistically, I think just get the Lightcone if you really want to push it. I don't want to level another Lightcone. It takes too much resource, so I just got E1 and use a 4-star Lightcone, yeah? E1 or E2 or E4 if you're fucking wailing, right? Okay, for Lightcone. The 5-star Bronya Lightcone lets your every second ult of Sparkle give another skill point. So your ult essentially gives 4.5 on average, right? If you play auto battle Sparkle, she fucking spams E every turn, so you get like 1 positive skill point. So this gives 1.5, but normally it's like 4.5, right? And then her own Lightcone. Her own Lightcone gives herself 32 crit damage, and then 10% crit rate and 28% crit damage for the team. If you're using this on Sparkle, you always get 4 stack of Radiant Flame, right? Because your ult gives 4 skill points, yeah? This Lightcone is probably the only reason why I would say, yeah, if you have this Lightcone, go for 200 crit damage, because this gives 32, right? It gives you crit rate and crit damage. It gives you like, what? Around 70% crit ratio if you average out the build or something, right? I don't think you need it, because I think she already gives like 80 to 90 crit damage, right? You're going for like 120 crit damage buff, so maybe you can balance your stat another way to fit it in. I don't think going above like 250 to 60 crit damage really matters, so it's good. The lesser geared you are, the better this is. The worse your artifact roll, the better this is. It's basically what it is. I think this is probably her best in slot, yeah, for 5-star, and then after that, you can run Bronya Lightcone if you want more skill point. For 4-star, I think it's planetary if you run on a full quantum team. Dance, 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 because she ults every 3 turns and it's pretty quick. Or past and future, so you get damage buff for like the character that you buff, right? Or you can fully embrace the Path of Elation Aha and run the Battle Pass Lightcones, so you get an RNG every single turn. I would not recommend it, but it would be funny if you run this on her, I guess. It fits her fucking style. Quick Lightcone session, right? Yeah, that's done, yeah? Any questions? No questions. Okay, next. Let's go for stats. So once again, I like to build defensive on my Harmony character or my support character, so I don't want them to get one-shotted, basically. So I built her 4,000 health, 1,800 defense, 165 speed, 164 crit damage, because as I explained, the difference between 160 crit damage and 200 crit damage is 84% crit buff versus 93% crit buff. In my eyes, that doesn't fucking matter. And then energy recharge, right? You do not need an energy set on Sparkle. The energy rope is enough for you to guarantee 3-turn ult without, you know, getting hit or getting a kill, right? So that's the build. It's just defensive stat, speed, some crit damage, and regen, right? That's all you need on her. I think it's pretty simple to build. I don't have good relic set on her. I think ideally I would like to run like wind set, so every time she ults, she gets a turn push, right? My relic set, I run whatever the fuck, right? There's no set that realistically changed her style that much. I just have this follow-up set on because it gives me a lot of crit damage and a lot of speed. So I'm like, oh yeah, funny, good stat. Pog. For stat, you realistically just go for crit damage, speed, and defense and regen, right? Or like defense or HP, either or. She has a lot of HP traces and she has very high base HP. So I ran for defense on the main stat, yeah? I don't think set bonus really matter for her. Realistically, you can probably run the speed set or you can run like the set if you really want to. This set also works because she gets 10% effect resistance for free. If you have this set, you get 20 effect resistance, and at 30, so 10 more effect resistance, you get 10 crit damage for your team, right? I think it's easier to achieve. Building 40 more crit damage versus building 10% effect resistance, I would just build the 10% effect resistance because it's fucking cheaper, right? That would be for orb and rope set. I guess you can run like ER set if you want to buff damage for full quantum set here. And is there any other set that you would want to run on her? I guess the full crit damage set, if you want to, isn't too bad. Yeah, defensive set, it's always nice. I like my support character being relatively tanky so they don't get one shot. Yeah, for normal Relic, you can probably run a 4 speed set, or you can run the funny wind set where you use your ult, your action, advance forward by 25. Yeah, is there any other set that you would like to run? Not really, right? It's just speed and wind. Yeah, thank god it's been a while since we get a character that doesn't have like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card as a description. I love this. Oh yo, keep releasing character that doesn't have the fucking Forbidden Codex as their skill description. Like, Jesus Christ. Thank you. Healing set for more skill point? Wait, you mean like this set? You run this healing set for 1 more skill point at the start of battle? What the fuck? I mean, like, I don't think so. That's kind of troll, I guess. Maybe if you really need the skill point, right? Maybe. I don't think so, though. But yeah, I think that Sparkle guide, right? It's just really simplistic. It's good. It's nice. You could probably run like a funny Sparkle team, like Sparkle and then Bronya and then Blade or something, right? That works. Sparkle plus IL or QQ is obviously the team. I wouldn't run both of them. One or the other is good. MoC. Let's see. Would the ratio thing work? I think that's fine. This is enough skill point, right? I mean, this is not like the right elemental weakness or anything, so it doesn't matter. Right? Hey, it's buffing ratio. 0 points.
Knowledge, the measure of truth.
Knowledge.
0 points.
0 points. Lulacha heal.
Go Nappy.
0 points.
You're spiffy? Can you find the answer?
Answer me.
0 points.
Liquidation.
Wait. Numby? Wait, who the fuck are you? Wait, did she buff both of them? She did buff both of them. Lulacha. Nice. Why is Sparkle getting bullied? It's the fucking Harmony character thing again. Harmony character taunting.
Answer me.
0 points. Oh, non-crit? Did you really non-crit? Did my ratio non-crit? What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Huh? It's 50 or 100. So Sparkle, let me try pressing Sparkle E. How much is my crit damage? Yeah, that's more than enough, no?
Knowledge, the measure of truth.
Cosmetic crit rate? It's 99.3. I can't run 100. Oh my god. Lolacha! Lolacha! I hate this team. They're so squishy.
You're spiffy? Liquidation.
Answer me.
Why is Topaz hitting the fire-resistant enemy?
Can you find the answer? Go Nappy.
What the fuck, Topaz?
Ball game.
She's investing. She's splitting damage. 0 points. Lolacha! Okay, nice. Oh my god, I hate this team. They're so squishy. Every hit dropped them down to half health. Every hit halves health them. 0 points. All right, that should be fine, right? Ambassador, can I hit this and like you edit so that the mob dies? Oh, kill this thing with MC? You can't solo that mob. All right, so that's it, yeah?